The Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show. Here we go.
We're back. After a week hiatus, last week we had a big Who-Bangin week last week. We went out to Vegas, meet up with some of our guys. Big Ragu was out there, Dom Ricci, just to name a few. But so we didn't do the tailgate talk, plus a lot of the World Series, a bunch of other stuff kind of threw us off. So we took a week off, but we glad to be back with you. How you feeling, Wine Time?
I'm good, brother. Good to be back here, man. We took 1 week off last week, first week off, man. But we had a good weekend over there, breaking those games down Saturday, man. Had some good reads on those games, man. Hoping to do the same thing this weekend, man. That's the goal every week. We can't get them every week, but we try to, man.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I goofed up a little bit on Saturday. I did get Indiana in, a couple other ones, but I goofed up a little bit. But I cleaned the house on Sunday, so shout out to the NFL for a change, for making the day for me, though. But what you think, man? What are we? Week 11 in the season right here.
Week 11, man.
The college football playoff prospect, Notre Dame's on there going to the playoffs. But I don't think many. I think at least 3 or 4 of these teams can't hang on and it play out just like it is. I mean, at some point they got to beat each other up a little bit. And I think we're gonna be on upset weekend right here, man. This is where it goes down right here. Right when you get towards the finish right here. What do you think about this week? Did you curve any cap in? Did you cut back units? How'd you approach this week?
Yeah, this is a pretty big week for me, man. I've got some good action here that we're going to talk about Saturday, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, man. A lot of big matchups. That Georgia Ole Miss is definitely going to be a good matchup there. Ole Miss, one more loss for them, they're done. Miami, man, they've been hitting on all cylinders. Is Haynes King going to play for Georgia Tech? That's going to be a good question too, man. A lot of questions. But I'm curious to see, man, Washington State, boss, I see them ranked 20 right now, man. If they somehow win out, that'd be cool to see them maybe sneak in there. Boise somehow doesn't. If Boise somehow gets upset, I doubt they will. But it'd be interesting to see Washington State in there because I like what they've been doing this year.
I mean, Boise got some loose screws in there too, especially on the defensive side of things. But I don't know. The jury's still out on that. I think if UNLV has to see Boise again in the Mountain West Championship, then I'm all over UNLV. But I don't know if that's going to count towards them going to the playoffs or how that works. But we'll see when we get there. But let's jump into this week 11 right here, going down. First, we're going to jump into this one right here, which I really like. This is Cal versus Wake Forest. Now, Cal does have to take the travel over there, but and we've seen what the travels look like for these teams in these new conference alignments. It gets pretty hectic sometimes. But Cal's a solid team, man. Really balanced offense and defense. Kind of strong on the defensive side as well. And they're playing the Wake Forest teams that I don't, but this is Hank Brockmeyer that was over at Boise State. Kind of just, kind of played his highlights of his career away. But he's back over here at Wake Forest, thrown 6 interceptions already. And I don't know. He's going to the game with a real defense right here. And I think Cal got a chance. They don't got too much time well, they have plenty of time, but this is a team that they're going to be facing for the first time here, and things kind of, going to feel their way through in some points. But overall, I'm loving Cal. Nothing but Cal in this one right here. Could be something that you can get the under in right here, but I'm going to stay away from that. But definitely like Cal minus the 7 right here. That is a bet it for me. How about you?
Yeah, this is a bet it for me as well, boss. I got on this total on Monday. It's still the same total at 55 minus 110. I really like the under in this one. Cal, they like to run the ball with their running backs. Jaden Knott hasn't played this year. I believe he's out for the rest of the year. Really good running back over there, but they got another guy in Thomas over there, been playing really good for them. Also, their quarterback, big dude, like 6'5", 6'6". He likes to run with it as well. Kind of hard to get taken down. He's a good athlete for its size. Wake Forest, man, I haven't been too impressed with them this season. Entering this game 4-4, both teams. Cal kind of had that losing streak after Miami, man. But if you look at that tape, man, I mean, that was a game that probably should have won. Big game right there. But that being said, man, I'm on the under. I think this is going to go way under. I think this isn't going to hit 50. I think Cal's going to be able to most likely take care of business in this one as well, I think. But give me the under in this one. Bet it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I like the under, and I really like Cal. I was bobbling between the two. Might end up laying them both. It's a Friday. Not much other to do that Friday but these games. So I like what you say. I guess for sure we're gonna have to call this a betty. Right to the smoke right here. UCLA Bruins, Iowa Hawkeyes. Me and my guy WineTime, we didn't went head to head on so many games down the stretch. We was on the same team earlier in the season, but down the stretch, we spread it out and we're learning, right? I'm learning off of you, you learning off of me. We learning, and that's where we need to be. That's why we do this. You know what I'm saying? But UCLA, you are our specialist on UCLA. But this Iowa team, man, strange enough, despite their record, they haven't reached to get. I think they're 8-1 to the over this year, which is
Yeah,
incredible.
that's correct.
Yeah, 8-1 to the over this year, and this could be another over if you really think about it. But UCLA, they do stand on defense. That is their sweet spot. Somehow, some way, is their defense. But the thing about Iowa going into this one is, and I've cashed earlier in the season with this one, is the type of defense that Iowa plays. They're very physical. It's like playing Wyoming. It's like playing the old San Diego State. They just play a certain type of defense that takes a little bit to get a liking to that type of defense. Now UCLA, like I said, they got a defense of their own, but they tend to struggle on offense. I think this game gets over the low total. Reason being is these both teams are bringing the same thing to the table. So Iowa, their run game is going to get shut down by UCLA. UCLA's run game is going to get shut down. They're going to be forced to toss the ball around in the air. So, which looks like a great under game, could easily go over. But I didn't get to the window with this. What you want, Wine?
Yeah, man. Big matchup here on Friday night at the Rose Bowl, man. Big time game for UCLA, man. A lot of teams were kind of writing them off here in the beginning of the season, starting off with the gauntlet of a schedule they had. Last two games, though, looked really impressive in their wins. They probably should have gotten the win against Minnesota at home a couple weeks ago. They lost on the last 2-minute drive, and they had the chance to win. They just didn't. They quite couldn't do it against a good Minnesota defense over there. But you know what, man? UCLA's been playing some good ball, man. We've been on them every week, boss. I've given them out every single week. If you look on paper, they didn't cover against Minnesota, but if you got the opening line, I got UCLA and we gave it out at the opening line. UCLA has covered in every single game since that Indiana game. And we know what Indiana is now. They're a college football playoff team potentially. So with that being said, man, Deshaun Foster does have this team, I think, going in the right direction. With that being said, the defense, man, not a lot of people have been talking about it. You mentioned it. Love that you did. Top 15 in the nation at stopping the run at only 3.3 yards per carry. Teams have been throwing the ball on them because that's been kind of their weak point in this defense. You look at Iowa, though, man, Sullivan getting the start here. A lot of people were high on him last week in the big win against Wisconsin. He didn't have to do too much, man, but I think this is going to be a lot different of a matchup for him. I think he's going to be put under pressure here in this spot. They're going to have to keep him under, and I just trust that if they can load the box here against the best, in my opinion, the best running back in the nation in Caleb Johnson, and stop him and hold him to under 150 yards, force Sullivan to throw the ball on you, you're going to get out of this with a win. At the very least, cover. I got the +7, -120, got all the way down to a +5. It's up to a +6 as well now. Give me UCLA all day in this spot to cover this spread, though.
Wow. Best running back in the nation?
Hey,
Okay,
over Genti, I think so.
I don't know. The jury's still out on that, but I'm going to respect it, and we're going to call this up. Here's a team right here that I jumped on early in the season and really got things going, but not so much since they came off of their little break. And this is, I think, if you look at Lane Kiffin's team, who's he's the portals, king, and this is a portal team, NIU deal and all that stuff. I mean, NIL deal. I'm sorry, but in these situations like this deep in the season, a bunch of guys that came from other places, some of them, just moving at a different rate, and they're not really the team that they were before. Now, this Rice team is kind of spotty. You can't really trust them because they got a chance to win in this game as well too. So I'm not sure if this is gonna be a spot for me. I mean, if I would take it, I would only take Memphis because they do have the talent to get the job done. It's just having a problem of putting it all together. So I'm gonna stay off this game. This is a forget it for me though. You on this one?
I'm not on this one. Interesting matchup here, though, man. I'm honestly, I would lean towards the Rice side if I'm being completely honest. I mean, Memphis coming off a loss at UTSA. UTSA, I'm not high on by any means. Coming off a 5-point win over Charlotte, a team that I don't think anyone's high on by any means. Just look at their schedule, man. Not a lot of impressive wins for them. And Rice, on the other hand, man, beat Navy. Hard game against a good Tulane team. Played good against UConn, a team that's been thriving since Jim Mora has gotten there this last couple of years. Give me the Rice in this spot. I haven't bet it, but I might have to get to the window with this one before Saturday. We'll see. But give me Rice in this spot.
Well, actually, that one's going down on Friday, so it's getting closer and closer.
Okay. Well, yeah, I might have to take this in on Friday. We'll see. If so, I'll tweet it out.
Now that you're on Friday, it's probably so because there's only a few games on Friday. It's going to be a might as well. Might as well.
Let's
you
go.
know. But it's one other game on Friday. I didn't put it on the card, and that's New Mexico and San Diego State. Just a weird matchup right there. Who knows what those two teams are doing. I figured I didn't have nothing on there, and you probably wouldn't either. So I didn't put it up here. So let's jump into our Saturday games. I only got 2 Saturday games that we're going to go over today. These are all the smoke right here. Hopping into the smoke right here. First off, Georgia at Ole Miss. Everybody pick a side right here. I'm definitely jumping off the Lane train. Lane gets kind of monotone when he gets in certain situations. He gets a little careless. He's been victim of miscoaching stuff. He's been victim of his teams going flat. All type of things in these big games. And this Georgia, the college playoff list came out this week, and it's time to put the women and kids to bed and go looking for dinner. And I don't think Beck really has a big chance at the Heisman, but maybe he's looking at his draft chances and other things like that. And that team, the defense over there is pretty good. This is a great defensive matchup too, because Ole Miss defense is really good too. So both offenses are gonna have to pull a rabbit out of the hat to get things going. And I just took Georgia money line in a parlay because the 2.5. Not. I mean, this game I'm not really gonna sweat it. But yeah, I'm on Georgia on the money line in a parlay. I can't do Ole Miss. I mean, naturally, I'd like to go for the under, but anything can happen when the Lane train is in town. What are you thinking on this game, Wine?
Yeah, another game I'm heavily invested in, boss here, man. I'm on the Ole Miss side in this one. Big game for them. Georgia, most likely, even if they get a loss here, they're probably going to still get into the college football playoff somehow. Ole Miss with a loss here, definitely not. I mean, they still have a ways to go. They still have a couple wins to get, but very winnable games. I was very impressed, boss. We talked about it last week, man. I was on Arkansas against Ole Miss. Man, I've never seen a quarterback put on such a display against such a solid defense like I saw Jackson Dart do. 500 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. He's making if he can make those deep ball throws, man, that guy's going number 1 overall. We haven't seen it on a consistent basis, and we've seen Georgia struggle against these lower end teams. But when they face the high end competition, they always, they're always up for the task. And Kirby Smart, guy I don't ever want to go against. Georgia, I don't ever want to go against them. This is very tough for me to do. But I just think this is an Ole Miss spot. It's a big revenge game. They got the guys in the portal on the offensive and defensive line to hang with these guys. We've seen this defense play really well this year too with Ole Miss. So give me Ole Miss +3, -120, a little bit juicy, but give it to me.
Yeah, I like it. If this were a couple months back, I'd probably be right with you on Ole Miss, being that he brought back the most amount of players he brought back, and included the portal players this year. So this is a really tight bunch. But the only sad part is yes, we seen him mismanage the team as a coach,
Yep.
and we also seen him play a lackadaisical game and catch an L in the big time matchup. So I mean, most of my USC fans out there, they'll never forget Lane, the way he did things there, and can't teach an old dog new tricks. But we're gonna call it a bet it on both sides. It's split, but it's a bet. Last game, I figured that you'd like this game because of who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I put this one on here, and it's a great big matchup right here. BYU, that number, considering how Utah started and where BYU is right now, that number is a cheap price for BYU. But this Utah team, if you would have put the same matchup together months ago, then we would have been leaning towards Utah because Utah was supposed to come out blazing for the year, but we never really got a real Cam Rising. They had to settle with the other quarterback, and BYU on the other hand, BYU actually been getting by the tail of their pants in a lot of these games. I'm talking trick plays, all that different stuff. And you're gonna be playing Utah, who's got a really, really solid defense over there. That they're structured behind the defense. But between this BYU team and this Indiana team, each one of those is the TCU of 2024. And when you have those group of guys that play so well together, you just can't do much about it. So this is a double-edged sword for me. I took Georgia parlay to BYU on the late night, both on the money line, and that's my play on Saturday. So I'm on this game, but didn't give up the 4 points, at least not yet. What you think, Wine?
Yeah, this is a tough match, boss. This is a hostile environment. Just a tough spot for Utah football this year, man. A lot of disappointment over there. Had a lot of high expectations going into this year, thinking Cam Rising was finally going to play. He's eligible for an 8th year, guys. He's going to be back. Sad enough. I don't think he's going to the NFL. I think he's going to want to keep milking that NIL money, man. That's what I would do at least. Maybe he goes somewhere else, but I think he's going to stay here another year. But besides the point, you got Isaac Wilson, a true freshman's brother of Zach Wilson. He's done some nice things in this offense that we've seen so far. Nothing impressive by any means. They made the change at offensive coordinator, a big move by Kyle Whittingham to do that in the middle of the season. Very surprising move. With that being said, man, I got nothing in this one. This is a tough matchup. I would lean with the points, I think, with Utah, just because it's a home game and the crowd, no matter what their record is, they're still going to be rocking and rolling for this game, and it's going to be a hostile environment. BYU, to me, the Big 12 is out of the Power 4, obviously. Probably, I'm going to say the ACC is probably 3 and the Big 12 is 4, and I'm not impressed by any of these teams in the Big 12. And BYU and Iowa State, man, it's going to be one of those two teams that ends up going to the college football playoff. Most likely Iowa State, in my opinion. I think BYU is going to somehow get a loss. I don't think they're going to go undefeated the rest of the season. This might be the game. We'll see. I got nothing in this one, though.
Yeah, I'm on it money line. If it goes down to a 3, I like it at a 3. I go ahead and lay the 3. This game is truly probably going to come down to a field goal, but also could be a very low scoring game. It's going to be cold out there. It's going to be late out there. Classic defensive matchup. This is what is it called? This game has a name it has a name to this game. I can't.
Yeah, I know, because it's the two Utah
the
schools.
Holy War. It's the Holy War, right? This is the Holy War.
I think it's something like that. Yeah. Two Utah schools. I mean, BYU fans might be out for this game too. So we'll see, man. This is going to be a big time game in Utah, though. I think that's why we're seeing. I think that's why we're probably seeing such a short spread on this one.
Yeah, and a lot of these teams, just like Indiana, man, a lot of these teams, cappers are on the other side, just bundled up, waiting for their downfall, and that's what's been happening at BYU, and they've been proving them wrong every time. Same thing going on with Indiana; they've been proving them wrong every time. Same thing going on with Iowa State; they've been proving them wrong every time. So at some point, we gotta change our ideology and roll with it. So I've been rolling with Indiana at least 3 weeks now on the Saturday show, and we just been cashing week in, week out. So I'm looking to get on BYU. I take it at a 3 for sure. I'm gonna just hold the money line right now, and I'm gonna call it a bet it. Well, that's all the games for today, Wine. Anything else you wanted to add for the week or for tomorrow or Friday? What you got?
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. Always a good time doing this tailgate talks with you, man, every week, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat that showed out for this. Appreciate you guys as always. Catch us Saturday, Boston the Sauce. We're gonna be breaking down these big time games, man. And it's week 11, man. It makes me sad that it's already it's week 11. It's like, damn, like the season it flies, man. It really does, man. But we got a lot of bowl games. We're gonna have a national title, and we're gonna have a final 12. Like, what a layout we're gonna have, boss, for this winter. So I'm excited for it, man. Let's just keep on cashing, man. Looking forward to capping these games with you and Ragu on Saturday, and JT, my guy.
Man, I'm just excited that we are 11 weeks in the system, and I've been doing fairly well. I'm in the green for sure. Even from the shows alone, you can check the picks from all the shows we had. I went 3-0 quite a few weeks in a row. A couple 1-2s on the show, but I've been doing great, and it's been all a lot to you, Wine Time. You bring great energy to the show, man. I appreciate you. I think that's what me and Big Radical needed. We needed some young wings to come fly around, and we're having a ball. We're loving you joining us on the show, and our guy JT as well. And we just gonna keep doing what we're doing, having fun and cashing tickets. So
Yes,
meet
sir.
us on Saturday, same place, same spot.
The Boston the Sauce Show.
Boston the Sauce Show.
Boston the Sauce Show.
Boston the Sauce Show. Here we go.
Yeah,